Hello guys, welcome to a new tutorial about the Kuka Sunrise toolbox. In this tutorial I'm gonna be speaking about the different functionalities provided by the toolbox. So here I am in the toolbox repo, and right now I'm gonna open the folder MATLAB client. Now inside this folder you have the different MATLAB functions that you are going to use to communicate and to control the robot. So what are the functionalities provided by the toolbox? We have several categories: the networking functions that are used to initiate, terminate the connection to the robot and to manage the communication between the robot and the PC. Also, we have motion functions, and we have the point-to-point motion function category, and also we have the real-time motion functions. So the point-to-point motion functions are used to perform motion in joint space or in Cartesian space. So those functions start by the initial word move BTV, and the Cartesian motion functions that are supported are the arc and line. So move BTV arc, move BTV line. The functions that start by the initial word move BTV are blocking functions. That means when you call this function, the execution will only return when the robot reaches the destination. On the other hand, the toolbox also provides non-blocking motion functions. Those non-blocking motion functions start by the initial word non-blocking. In such a case, when you call this function, the robot starts moving. At the same time, your program can still run, and you can, for example, read data from the robot, or you can apply your all algorithms, for example, to plan a path, to communicate with a camera, or to communicate with inputs, outputs, or whatever. So this is non-blocking motion functions. And how do you know when the robot reaches the destination? Actually, you have got to pull the function non-blocking is called reached. So each now and then you have to call this function, and if it returns true, that means the robot has reached the destination. If it returns false, that means the robot is still moving toward the goal. So I'm going to be speaking more about the point-to-point motion functions in later tutorials. Right now I'm going to give an overview about the real-time motion functions. So the real-time motion functions start by the initial word real-time, and they are used to move the robot on the fly. And the idea is you are gonna stream the joint angles or the Cartesian position of the end effector, and the robot is going to move according to this stream of positions. I'm going to be speaking about the real-time motion functions in more elaboration in later tutorials. Right now I'm going to switch to another category, and it is the setters and getters functions. The setter functions are used to set the outputs of the robot or the light of the pneumatic flange. So those functions are supported by the pneumatic flange. So if you have a robot with some other flange, you can still call those functions, but actually they are not gonna have any effect on the robot, because those outputs and the light doesn't exist for other flanges. So if you have a pneumatic flange, you can use any of those functions. We call them setters. They start by the word set in order to set on or off any of the outputs of the pneumatic media flange. Also to set on or off the lights of the pneumatic media flange of the robot. Right now I'm going to be speaking about the getters. The getters start by the initial word get, and those functions are used to get any parameter of the robot. For example, the Cartesian position or the Cartesian orientation of the end effector. You can get the Cartesian orientation for the end effector, for example, as a quaternion or as a rotation matrix. Also, you can get it as fixed rotation angles. You can get the position of the end effector. You can get the measured torques or the external torques. You can get the joints positions. You can get the state of the inputs of the pins on the media flange. Again, for the inputs, the functions that supports data acquisition from the inputs are supported only by a pneumatic media flange. If you do not have the pneumatic media flange, you can still call those functions, but they are going to return always false, because those pins are not existent if you do not have a pneumatic media flange. Right now I'm going to be speaking about another type of functions that are used for physical interaction. So those functions start by move BTB conditional. In such a case, you can add a condition on the motion. So if, for example, a torque condition, if this condition is violated, if the torque is more than the specified value, the motion is going to be aborted. But so I'm going to be speaking with more elaboration about those functions in later videos. So this wraps very much the basic functions that are supported by the toolbox. Thank you very much for watching.